Hey, this is Jimmy with Cascade Components. Today I'm here to talk about something that is not bike related, something I've been doing for longer than I've been riding bikes, ski stuff. So, as a lot of you know, we just recently did these walk mode levers for the Dalbello Lupo. As you can see here, we've got the first prototype one that we made. I still ski these because they work fine. Why fix it if they ain't broke? Then we have two production ones, which, as you can see, slimmed down just a little bit because the first one was unnecessarily chunky. Anyway, so yeah, these came into being because I broke the walk mode lever on one of my boots. And then this one's actually on its way to breaking anyway. It's got a couple of cracks. So yeah, started in on designing a beefier walk mode lever that I didn't think would break ever. So one of the things that kind of focused in on pretty quick after, looking at the boot and the walk mode that's on there is forward lean. There's this, as you can see, bit of free play that the back of the boot has when you don't have a liner or anything in there. And our walk mode lever is designed specifically to get rid of that free play. Okay, so anyway, I'm just gonna dive in and throw on the walk mode lever I've been running for a bit because these actually belong to someone. Those are spoken for. I'm not going to put them on my boot. So installation for these guys is super simple. There's just lower screw, upper screw. On the inside of the boot there are a couple of T-nuts. It is easiest to go about this with the liner out of the boot. There's a way to do it with the liner in the boot, but it's just nice to be able to get your hand back in there. So first, there's a T-nut behind this screw, just holding that in place so it can't go anywhere. And back the screw out. And then there's a little plastic web inside the boot. So this one tends to kind of stay put. So you can usually just kind of leave it there while you work on the upper one. The upper one doesn't have that plastic bit supporting it from behind, so it'll fall right out. You got to keep your finger on the back of it, pressing the T-nut forwards, otherwise as soon as the screw gets loose, the T-nut will just spin. All right, so there is the walk mode lever that comes on the boot. I'm just gonna pull this T-nut out. Just looking at the design of this thing really quick. When I pulled this thing apart, I was assuming this part would be steel. Turns out this part is not steel, it is aluminum, and it is very flimsy. So when you have, any force into the back of the boot right there, it is pressing up on that face of the walk mode lever. That load goes directly into those two pivots. And, as you can see, there's not really any support, from that flange with the hole in it back to there. And if you look closely, you can actually see that this is bent. Small amount, not nearly as bent as the broken one was, obviously, but nonetheless. So what we did with our walk mode lever design here is that flange that the actual lever is pinned to extends all the way out to the center line of the screws on each end. That pretty much just allows it to take all of that, the load that goes through the bottom of the lever and put it directly into those faces. And then, another thing, like the pins on this super loose, a lot of play, that doesn't, help either. Or is this, it's just about as rigid as it gets. Obviously all the hardware on this is stainless. Don't want it to start rusting on you. All right, so anyways, that's the design side of things. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on. I'm gonna start with the bottom screw. So I'm just holding the T-nut there so it won't fall. Drop that on like that. And then you just start throwing that guy in. Again, if you don't keep pressure on the T-nut on the back, it'll just start spinning in the boot. There are two little plastic edges that constrain it, and they're not very strong. So get that screw nice and tight. Flip it down so we can actually get to the top one. Pop the T-nut back in there that I took out, and put it up on end just so that it's easier to get the screw to stay in place. And thread that one in too. All right, so one thing you'll notice right away is actually getting the walk mode lever to engage is quite a bit harder, obviously, because you gotta lean forwards more to get it in there. But then also because that, free range of motion of the boot is gone, when you're flexing forward to get it to engage, you are actually flexing the back of the boot as opposed to moving it through that free range of motion. So it'll pop in there, but you actually have to, you know, give it a good push. So as you can see now, this is, you know, pretty rigid. And again, you know, gotta actually give it a good little pull. It won't just come out on its own. So there you have it. There's our walk mode lever. I hope you all you know, get good use out of it. No one breaks any more walk mode levers, and that you know, everyone just continues to get good use out of their ski boot.
Moving forward.